It's the case of the ambassador, his jilted lover and the laptop containing sensitive state secrets. When Pero Stoyanovski arrived in Australia as the Macedonian ambassador, he couldn't have guessed the path that lay ahead. He ended up in the Supreme Court accusing his former lover of stealing his computer and blackmailing him. Earlier this month, the case fell apart after the ambassador's credibility was challenged. Now, his former partner has spoken for the first time, as Hayden Cooper reports.
It's just after Christmas 2010 and Lydia Dumbalowska arrives at her partner's Canberra home. The couple is well known on the diplomatic circuit. He, the Macedonian ambassador in Australia, Pero Stoyanovski. She, often by his side at official events.
We used to go in functions together, some organised by the Macedonian community, and even political functions.
Their history was long. Almost 20 years earlier, they'd studied together in Macedonia. She'd moved to Australia and carved out a successful career as an engineer and had a daughter, by this time 12 years old. The relationship rekindled when he was sent here as a diplomat.
He was actually a perfect man. He seemed like a perfect man.
But that day in late 2010, the perfect romance crumbled. Lydia Dumbalowska let herself in with her own key. Her partner, Pero Stoyanovski, wasn't home and wasn't answering his phone.
Sat down, I turned on the computer. I used that computer a number of times before that. And I opened the Internet Explorer. So suddenly the web page, the message was, this page cannot be displayed. So I thought to myself, I'll refresh the web page. I don't know what letter I typed in the search bar. Just the whole drop-down menu came in front of me, and it was shocking, the stuff that I saw on that laptop.
As the Supreme Court would later hear, the laptop's search history included pornography of a perverse nature. A separate discovery also caught Lydia Dumbalowska off guard.
I opened my documents folder, and what shocked me was he had probably 40, 50 photos of my daughter, and there was only one of me, him, and my daughter, so there was no photos of me.
To this day, it doesn't make sense to her or her lawyer.
I think alarmed Lydia incredibly when she saw it, even though the photographs themselves didn't sort of depict her in any unseemly way. I would have thought it's highly unusual.
Shocked and confused, Ms. Dumbalowska says she grabbed the laptop and left. Soon the ambassador was on the phone.
The first thing that he said to me, don't look into anything anymore.
4 days later, the federal police came knocking at Lydia Dumbalowska's door. She assumed they were investigating the ambassador. Instead, she was charged with burglary, theft and blackmail.
When the police came, I thought I was actually doing the right thing. I said, I'll explain everything to you. Just take the computer, this is what I need. I want you to take it, I don't need it. All I wanted to do was find the truth.
The federal police probably should have done a bit more to make sure that this man's claims had some legitimacy.
Pero Stoyanovski is a former minister in the Macedonian government. He was first appointed to Canberra in 2009. His court battle with Lydia Dumbalowska would make big news back at home.
Ако постоеше било каков криминал или било каква злоупотреба на мојата службена должност, дека верувам дека и Министерството и Државниот врв ќе побара одговор.
In his complaint to police, he made several claims about his now former partner. The first, that the laptop she took held sensitive and secret information.
It contains information relating to my work as the Ambassador of Macedonia, and the information is very sensitive to me and also the embassy. The information on the computer would probably be rated as secret. There are some communications on this computer with me and the Macedonian Prime Minister.
Later, on television in Macedonia, Mr. Stoyanovski told a different story to his original police statement.
Тој лаптоп.
Имаше толку тајни таму.
Немаше воопшто тајно, немаше никакво. Тоа е едноставно мој личен лаптоп на кој што имав лична кореспонденција, комуникација со мои пријатели, роднини и така натака. Во Македонија и некои лични документи.
In his police statement, he said that Lydia Dumbalowska demanded $200,000 for the return of the laptop. Did you blackmail him over the contents of the laptop?
No, I did not. Did not. I mean, there was nothing to blackmail him. You know, it wasn't government information or anything like that. Why would I blackmail him?
The charges began a 3-year legal saga for Ms. Dumbalowska. In defending his client, lawyer Rick Mitri went on the offensive in the Supreme Court, targeting the ambassador's credibility. What he uncovered would, he told the court, expose Mr. Stoyanovski as a fraud and blow the case against his former partner apart. The investigation uncovered a bizarre request from a meeting 2 years ago. At the Macedonian embassy, Pero Stoyanovski pulled 3 people aside for a quiet conversation. All 3 were stunned by what he told them. Canberra businessman John Nikolovsky was there.
He was terminally ill with prostate cancer, and he also had a tear in his eye. Myself, I lost someone dearly, my father, to prostate cancer. One of the other people lost a wife to cancer. So really, he played on our emotions and requested $20,000.
This witness says the ambassador wanted the money to go to France 2 days later for surgery.
We used the embassy's computers, we did bank transfers, gave him the money. Apparently it was urgent because he was leaving Canberra in 2 days and he needed the money urgently for this prostate cancer operation in France. Now that's what he told us.
This is the document signed by Mr. Stoyanovski at that meeting. It refers to his life-threatening condition and the loan given to him by one of those present. All 3 lenders have provided statements stating the event took place.
About 3 to 4 weeks later, he came back to Canberra and told us it all went well and everything was a success.
But the lenders had become suspicious. They'd been told that the ambassador was spotted not in France, but at a Macedonian resort.
And that's when, you know, alarm bells started ringing and we thought, well, this isn't right.
It later turned out he didn't have cancer at all. Nicholas Stavreski runs a Macedonian news website from his home in Melbourne. He says Pero Stoyanovski told him directly.
Never have cancer, definitely. He told me in Macedonia in January this year, he never been sick from cancer. He just pretend to be sick. I say, you're a sick man. That's what I told him.
I think he's a compulsive liar and everything is to his own benefit. And he probably just can't help himself.
The startling revelation was confirmed during the opening day of Lydia Dumbalowska's trial earlier this month. Her lawyer had prepared for a thorough examination of the prostate cancer claim and was ready to call witnesses. But in the end, it wasn't necessary. The prosecution simply gave up and conceded that Pero Stoyanovski had told them too he never had cancer. With his credibility under question, the charges were dropped. To continue the case would be futile, a waste of the court's time. Lydia Dumbalowska had won. The criminal charges against her were abandoned, though she may still face a minor theft charge in the local court.
You feel better? Like this weight has been lifted.
It's a major relief for her and her daughter.
It's still... I can't believe it that it's over. Like, it took 4 years of my life.
Pero Stoyanovski now lives in Melbourne. He declined to answer 730's questions, and in the past month he has repaid the money he borrowed supposedly for cancer treatment. Lydia Dumbalowska and her daughter are now trying to forget the whole episode.
I know it was much easier for me to just plead guilty on something small. It would have been, I didn't have to spend the money that I did. It would have been finished a long time ago, but it just didn't feel right.
Hayden Cooper reporting.